welcome to our presentation. We are supposed to be the marketing team for Ryanair, and this is our team right here. The way we handle the task is that we start doing a SWOT and a steeple analysis with a development of SWOT, and then we're going to find our objectives from there, and we implement like some strategies, the actions from them, and that's going to show us the position Ryanair is going to take in the next 3 years.
So to analyze the market environment, we used the steeple. The first factor we analyzed was the socio-cultural factor. We focused on three main issues. The first one was the 2014 trends of travel. That shows that the regional and domestic demand has grown, around 79%, according to the European Commission. The EU citizens were traveling domestically or within the EU. The second issue is the potential customers' awareness of Ryanair existence. This is due to the fluctuating responses that could be negative but positive to Ryanair's decisions and comments appearing on the media. And the final one we considered was that youth travel is a growing segment of the global travel industry. Most 66% of young Europeans go on relatively short trips. Okay, the following will be the social-cultural impacts. After analyzing them, we determined that the ones that will have more influence over Ryanair were the three first ones. So, for the short term, the medium term, and the long term, for the first issue, we found that people in the EU will continue to fly with low-cost fare airlines. For the second issue, we found that generally, this could allow other competitors to take advantage that Ryanair has a growing brand awareness, but not necessarily a good one, or a positive one. And for the impacts of the last issue we considered out of the four, we found that basically European young travelers will continue to demand flights. Finally, for each of these three issues, we found out that they represent more an opportunity than a threat. First, for the first issue, if Ryanair improves its customer perception, it can retain its actual customers, make them advocates for clients, and it can even expand its customer base. Second, if Ryanair can take advantage of the attention it is receiving by communicating its improvements, either liberating a trap value or introducing a new one. And last, Ryanair can exploit this market segment by tailoring young travelers offers that can appeal to them. However, for this last issue, we found that it has a threat, that probably young travelers with low income or money to spend will be less willing to pay for additionals on the plane.
The main issue, noise pollution, is caused by outdated engine technology, and impact grows proportional to the increasing number of flights. The second issue, growing opportunities in the digital world, are caused by innovation on a daily basis. The impact for the technological factor, for the noise pollution, it's mainly health issues which affect frequent flyers as well as workers, and it impacts their concentration, which leads to fatigue and uncertainty. And another impact on Ryanair is the constant trend of lobbying and complaints. For opportunities in the digital world, it allows organizations with the capability of fastly identifying innovations and implementing them to differentiate themselves and gain competitive ground, as well as it creates disruptions by constantly changing the definition of technological awareness. The opportunity for noise pollution is that you improve the engine technology, which leads to better performing and happier employees, as well as green marketing by satisfying consumers' self-infatuated need of protecting the environment. The potential threat are penalties and sanctions due to increased government concern.
Okay, I'm going to talk about economical factors of the steeple, and the issues I discovered was that corporations like private persons spend less money. That happens after recessions and such stuff like that, and fuel prices and currency fluctuations are the things that affect the economical, environmental of the air industry the most. And the impacts they can have are very often that consumers would rather save money after a recession because there's less money in the market, less higher unemployment, stuff like that. fuel costs can like increase, and have increased a lot during the last 10 years, and that's the biggest cost of an airline. So it's really important. And the currency, in order, because like they receive money in euro, and like they have to pay their cost of fuel in US dollars, and they also get a lot of money from the UK pounds. So they're really depending on the currency to be exact, because they might have to set price for our flight tickets a year before they actually fly. So and the currency and the price and the currency can make the price very different. So it's really important for them. And they have like several opportunities by a financial recession. You know, you have opportunities to expand the market and gain more market capitalization. But also a lot of airlines will adapt to your model, and and they can also hedge the fuel prices and the currencies.
For education and employment, we talked about the 3 issues of negotiation with unions, increase in level of unemployment, and rise in education. These 3 issues impacted the education and employment impacts include when it comes to the not recognizing unions. It causes employees to think twice about applying for a job there, because people won't want to work for a company that their union does not recognize. It worsens the company relationship with them, and an opportunity is that Ryanair pilot group has started, which is a group created to represent their pilots, and it's within Ryanair, so they can't refuse to acknowledge them. And a threat is that not negotiating with them will cause them to lose potential employees and potential really good employees. Also, people will rather fly low cost and have lower service criteria. High unemployment causes people to become more willing to fly cheaper, and people could not fly at all if the level of unemployment keeps rising. So that's a threat. And then Ryanair could also use the rise in education could use the rise in education to offer more frills. As well, Ryanair, as a threat, Ryanair could lose market share because the increase of potential customers are getting higher, and incomes are getting higher, so people are choosing more expensive airlines.
So we do a prioritized SWOT analysis through a subjective prioritization and a box stat analysis. So the first thing we go through is strengths. And in strengths, we are a brand who is associated with low fares. So everybody naturally comes to our company for the low cost. Then we have the business strategy of being a low-cost leader in the market. Next, we also have being the biggest market share in the low-cost airline industry. In addition to being having the biggest market share in the low-cost airline industry, we also use a single-model aircraft, which means we have smaller maintenance costs. It's easier to train our pilots and the maintenance crew. So we also have one of the newest fleets in the market, which means we have increased fuel efficiency and also less maintenance costs. We also have a price lockdown on fuel, and we also have the fastest turnaround time, an average turnaround time of 25 minutes. And we also just had a website facelift. It's allowing for more natural interaction, and also we had an introduction of the mobile phone app, which has improved process and low distribution costs, and 90% of bookings are now done online. Next, we have our weaknesses. So weaknesses in our company is that we have a very poor customer service. The user experience is not worth it for the customer. Then we also have the branding. Our brand uses too much excess shock in our marketing, which has caused a bit of a bad reputation for our company. Also, we have a dormant fleet during the winter months. So these aircraft remain unused, and we have to pay for tie-down fees and storage fees. We also have 60% of our cabin crew being terminated after 12 months working, which weakens the employee relations and commitment of achieving goals and being exemplary in the working in our company. It causes an increased cost of hiring employees. We're unsuccessfully pursuing other strategies, so we're having trouble with merging with other companies, i.e. Aer Lingus. And next, we have our opportunities. In our opportunities, we have the opportunity to improve our user experience by persuading a differentiation strategy, so an after-sales service. This suggests we also have a positive, we may use a positive approach to promotion and branding, so instead of using a shock advertisement, we use a more calculated and natural commercial experience for customers. Next, we also have using the fleet during winter months. So we may open up temporary routes during the winter months. We also may lease our aircraft to other companies so that these fleet don't remain dormant and costing us money just being stored. Also, we can launch new routes throughout the year. So flying to major city airports at additional cost would be an idea. So instead of flying to Stansted, we can fly into Heathrow and just have an additional cost for the ticket, just so it's more convenient for our customers. Next, we have our threats. And one of the threats is the growth of the low-cost market, which is becoming very congested. We have too many competitors currently flying out there. Also, the European Union has denied boarding regulation. Next, we also have the oil price inconsistency. Next, we have the dependence on the economic cycle. We also have terrorist threats, which can increase turnaround times, thus costing our company more money because we actually spend more time at the airport and we have more unsatisfied customers. Next, we have some more objectives. To begin with, we want to reduce our customer complaints by 8% in the first quarter of 2016. Then we want to increase our positive brand awareness, which we currently have a 59% customer satisfaction, and we want to see this raised by 50% in the third quarter of 2016. So we have a total of 8.5% customer satisfaction. Next, we want to increase the penetration in the markets. Currently, in the already established market, we have an average of 55% penetration, and we're going to raise this number by 20% in the third quarter of 2016. Next, we want to increase our penetration in developing markets by 40%, and we currently stand at 38%. And so the developing market would include Germany, Sweden, France, Belgium, Holland, Switzerland, and so forth. Lastly, we want to increase the airline traffic. And currently we stand at just over 75 million passengers a year, and we want to see this number rise to 100 million after 24 months of implementing our strategies, which would be around the first quarter of 2018.
Strategies. Ryanair is not the only low-cost airline in the market anymore, meaning that it has been feeling the pressure of competition trying to steal its market share. Aiming to try something different that can retain and increase the customer base, we thought about the segmentation strategy. This is a strategy that Ryanair has started to implement since months ago. Ryanair launched the Business Plus and the Family Extra flight packages, trying to have a 25, targeting a 25 and 20% stake from their customer base respectively. Therefore, we are continuing implementing the current segmentation strategies with the objectives to increase their stakes. Furthermore, except for the previous example, Ryanair continues to splitting its customer base by ages and not strategically. We found that Ryanair had a customer base in which the first age group included passengers from 0 to 24 years old. Indeed, infants and young adults were not properly targeted. Thus, we are proposing the market segment we call digital natives. In an industry in which European young travelers are increasingly heading for new horizons, and is a trend line within the EU, it is a great opportunity to implement this strategy. Ryanair will increase digital native customers traveling for holidays and weekends by displaying experiences throughout the media, providing with informational deals that would appeal to this age group, such as music festival, parties, and other festivities. The targeted customer will realize how much they are actually saving with Ryanair by the increase on their disposable income, and how affordable these short holiday trips can be.
I'm going to be speaking about our next strategy, which is market penetration. Market penetration calls for the Ryanair company to use 3 tactics: aggressive pricing, high distribution, and aggressive advertising. Ryanair clearly already put the aggressive pricing tactics to use, So I'm mainly going to be speaking about the other two. With market segmentation, they can use the hardball strategy when going into aggressive advertising without, of course, being disrespectful to competitors so that they don't strike back. Ryanair can advertise how by flying with Ryanair rather than other low-cost airlines, how much customers, especially our segmented customers, will be saving, and how much disposable income they would have left over with a Ryanair flight. Advertising, of course, as Emilio had said, will be done mainly through social media to target our digital native customers. For aggressive distribution strategies, Ryanair could go about starting with people searching on Google for holiday flights. They should see a Ryanair advertisement or a link to the Ryanair website, one of the first things they should see. This doesn't only open the market to digital natives, but to all types of customers, such as ones traveling as families, business travelers, elderly travelers, and so on. After being segmented and penetrating the market, this should lead to the success of all our objectives. Next, I wanted to say one innovative idea we had also to penetrate the market was we wanted to add a theme to Ryanair to penetrate the market further. We came up with the idea that an image of a famous Irish or English person on aircraft, such as Bono or F. Scott Fitzgerald, for example. Then on the inside there would be small pamphlets about the person with their story and a picture. We wanted to pay tribute to the Irish culture by doing this. At first we would start off with a few planes named after these famous people, such as the Bono plane or the Fitzgerald plane. This would be causing a brand culture, creating a brand culture and positive brand awareness. And it gives Ryanair a personality other than the cheap airline, and it creates a fuss in a positive way.
So I'm going to talk about the actions to implement the strategies. And then in form of the piece, I'm going to focus on two of them. And that is going to be price and promotion. And using segmentation is going to increase traffic and growth market share, like Frida talked about. But we're going to especially break up the market into different people and target them at specific times. So when it's summer vacation from school, that's when we're going to target the families, and we're going to use the two pieces like price and promotion. Promotion in form of advertising on the website, saying that okay, it would be nice to have a vacation on the beach, so Ryanair can get you there cheap, and while using the price to keep the prices down, and actually use promotion to make families know that they actually can afford going there, which will increase the market share in that specific time. When we have when it's more like school and people are working and they can't take time off, that's when we're gonna start targeting specific students, which is not something Ryanair has not done a lot from before. So, like example here in London, which is it's not far from here, we're gonna promote students to go on different concerts around the world, events, or just promote a weekend trip in Paris or a weekend trip in Spain or whatever, just so in order we can make more air traffic in the specific time, and then we're gonna use promotion and price to make students see that they can be able to fly. So we break up the market and that will increase market share. The limitations for doing this is that we don't have a lot to offer them in form of starter lines or loyalty cards and stuff, which is really nice, but since we're a low-cost airline, we can't offer them stuff like that. We're just going to keep it simple and cut prices and use easy promotion in order to gain this market share. And in form of market penetration, we're going to maintain the low-cost model, which Ryanair is doing really, really good, which is using price and promotion. And the thing about we got to try to do things a bit differently to try to keep costs down, and we have to do to keep costs down, and we're going to use a backtrack advertisement. Right now they have a lot of advertising inside the plane, but I also think a way we can develop further on that is that every bag that's being checked in needs a tracker on it, and we're going to sell advertising spaces on that, and that's stuff we do to keep costs more down so we can keep tickets slow. And we also have, after this deep analysis, we can identify that we have a lot more competition within the low-cost model. So this model itself, like it did 6 years ago, will not work. So that's why we're going to use, on our tail, put famous Irish people like Frida talked about. And we're going to use the peace people, which is an informal recognizing people and creating a brand, and creating a big culture about a brand, which is one of our objectives as well. We're going to use promotion. We're going to promote these people that we put on the tail of our plane. We're going to promote them big, and we're going to, like, every time let's say we take like a Bono plane, we're going to, like, baptize it and throw champagne towards the plane and create a big fuss about it so the newspaper will see it, and we get like a big promotion in a very cheap way. And we're going to use physical evidence that you can actually see and call a plane Bono, and like the same as with place that the airplane, and like so you feel like you're flying the Bono plane or whatever, which will increase the brand culture, and that will make you think about Ryanair in other settings as well. The limitation is like getting stuck in the middle, because we can't offer them too much because we still gotta focus on keeping the cost down. That's about it.
Control, we did balanced scorecards. First, we're going to talk about customer. So the three aspects we are speaking about are the airline's traffic, customer satisfaction, and brand awareness. Our targets are to increase the airline traffic to 100 million, reduce customer complaints by 60%, and increase positive brand awareness by 50%. We are able to measure this by based on sales for the airline's traffic, and for customer satisfaction and brand awareness is based on data from customers' feedback. Then for innovation, we're speaking about our segmentation strategy, and our target is to develop a digital native flights package and a flights experience and so on. We measure this by the sales in that category and in that market group. And then for technology, we are speaking about speed advancement. For example, the ticket phone availability and the cell phone app, and so on. Our target is to develop a customer-tailored advertising and booking through the cell phone apps and online. And this is measured by the data of percentages of people who book and use tickets through these through technology. And employees was our next scorecard, and our two aspects are original culture engagement and training, and employees turnover. So our target is to make employees happy, motivated, and capable to perform their best when they're working. And for employee turnover is to decrease employee turnover by 20%, since it's already at 60% within a year. We want to make it 40%. This is measured by the customer satisfaction for the first one, and the second, employee turnover, is measurable by the employee records and databases.
So when we analyze finance, under it, we got the aspect of growth penetrations, which is basically one of our SMART objectives. The target is to increase the growth penetration in the developed low-fare markets by 20%, and in the potential low-fare markets by 40%. How are we going to see if these objectives were met? Well, we're going to base on the sales. Under internal, the aspect was productivity, which is basically to see how efficiency and effectiveness was met in the company through the course of actions and objectives. So we know Ryanair has maintained a safety record, and we want to keep this. Also, we want to increase the on-time flights by 5%, and we're going to measure this based on the time departures and the maintenance of the safety record. Under competitors, we cover the aspect of market share. We want to increase Ryanair's market share, which is actually 7.2, and we want to increase it by 0.8. We're going to measure this based on the reports of sales.